Ever wonder why so many older folks wake up at 3 a.m., staring into the dark, unable to drift back to sleep? You might lie there gazing at the ceiling, wondering if something's wrong with your body or mind. The truth is, this happens more often than you think, and it's not just aging or a quirky habit. In this video, we're diving into 7 compelling reasons why seniors often wake around 3 a.m. and what these early wake-ins might be telling you. Each reason sheds light on your body, health, and the rich life you've lived. By the end, you'll see your sleep in a whole new way. We're not just scratching the surface here. These insights come from the real science of aging, hormones, sleep rhythms, health shifts, and even the quiet pull of emotions and social changes. We'll share it all with honesty, warmth, and deep respect for the journey you've traveled. If you've ever found yourself awake at 3 a.m. asking, "Why now?" you're in the right place. Stick with us to the end. These insights could not only help you sleep better, but also deepen your appreciation for what your body's going through. Let's get started. Another big reason folks like 74-year-old Martha wake up around 3 a.m. is a gag shift in the body's internal clock, something called advanced sleep phase. As we age, our biological rhythms nudge forward, making us drowsy earlier in the evening and ready to rise before dawn. You might catch yourself dozing during a late-night show or waking up at first light without an alarm, even when you'd love a few extra hours of shut-up. This isn't just a habit, it's biology at work, growing more noticeable with each passing year. When you were younger, your body synced with later bedtimes and matched the sun's rhythm. But as this clock shifts, your sleep window slides earlier. Martha might drift off by 9 p.m. without meaning to. So by 3 a.m., her body's done resting, leaving her wide awake in the dark, feeling like the night's over. This doesn't mean anything's wrong. It's like your internal clock has been gently reset over time, ticking a bit ahead each year. While it's not harmful, it can frustrate when your lifestyle or family routine doesn't match this new schedule. There's a quiet mental side to this too. Many seniors like Martha live in calmer homes or spend more time alone. That peaceful setting can amplify the body's urge to wind down early, without the bustle or noise that once kept bedtime at bay. If you're retired like Martha, and no longer tied to work schedules, commutes, or social events, the absence of those time cues makes this shift even stronger. Take Martha, for instance. At 74, she's settled into retirement, eating dinner by 5:30 p.m., and watching a bit of TV before bed. By 9 p.m., she's out like a light, and by 3 p.m., her body's ready to start the day. She wasn't stressed, just alert. At first, she worried it was insomnia. But learning about advanced sleep phase showed her sleep wasn't broken. It was just on a new timetable. Martha started tweaking her evenings, reading under a cozy lamp, taking a short walk after dinner, or chatting with her son on the phone. These small cues stretch her sleep window, nudging her wake-up closer to morning. The result? Fewer 3 a.m. wake-ups, and a rhythm that feels more in tune with her life. This sleep shift is common among seniors, but rarely talked about. Understanding it lifts the guilt or confusion, offering a kinder way to work with your body. If you're waking at 3 a.m., feeling rested, your clock might just be set too early. Knowing this, you can shape your routine to support your well-being. One of the biggest reasons folks like 78-year-old Dorothy wake up around 3 a.m. is a drop in melatonin as we age. Melatonin, the hormone that runs your body's sleep-wake clock, helps you drift off and stay asleep. It's like the gentle conductor of your nighttime rest. When you were younger, your body pumped out plenty of melatonin, giving you long, deep sleep without a hitch. But as the years roll on, that supply dwindles. For Dorothy, this means she might still nod off easily after a busy day or a cozy evening. But by 2 or 3 a.m., her melatonin levels dip too low to keep her snoozing. She wakes up, not from a towel noise or a dream, but because her brain is quietly shifting to awake mode without enough melatonin to hold her in dream. This isn't your fault, and it's not your body letting you down. It's just the chemistry of aging at work. To make matters trickier, your bedroom can amplify this. Even a sliver of light from a street lamp, a glowing clock, or a crack under the door can zap melatonin further. As we get older, our bodies get pickier about these things, making that 3 a.m. wake-up feel like a stubborn guest. Take Dorothy, for example. At 78, she always prided herself on sleeping like a log. But lately, she's wide awake by 3:15, feeling alert as if it's time to start the day. She wasn't stressed or upset, just awake. Once she learned this tied to melatonin's decline, she stopped feeling frustrated. Dorothy started keeping her room pitch dark, ditching screens before bed, and taking short evening strolls to boost her body's rhythm. These small tweaks signal nighttime to her system, and while she still wakes early now and then, she's learned to work with her body, not fight it. That's the magic of understanding. Knowing these wakeouts aren't your doing, but a normal shift lets you take steps to support your sleep. It turns irritation into kindness toward yourself, helping you make smarter choices for better rest. If this resonates, drop a 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. Not subscribed? Hit that button and turn on the bell to catch every video. Your support keeps us sharing content to inform and inspire. Let's keep going. A common reason folks like 80-year-old George wake up around 3 a.m. is their body reacting to physical discomfort or sneaky health issues that creep up in the quiet of night. As we age, chronic conditions or small ailments become more likely, and many have a knack for disrupting sleep without sounding the word alarm. These disturbances slip in softly: a stiff joint, a full bladder, or a twinge in the back. It's often just enough to pull you from rest. Take arthritis, for instance. Lying still for hours can turn achy joints into a wake-up call. George might not feel it when he first hits the hay, but after a few hours, those pains build up enough to nudge him awake. For some, nighttime heartburn can stir trouble, especially if dinner was late or they reclined too soon after eating. Even little things, dry mouth, muscle cramps, or a slightly chilly room, can trigger a light wake-up in the early hours, when your body's defenses are more sensitive and less forgiving. One of the top culprits for older men like George is the need to use the bathroom. As we age, the bladder gets less stretchy, and the urge to go hits faster and more often. During the day, distractions mask it, but at 3 a.m. in a silent room, it's impossible to ignore. Once George gets up, even for a quick trip, his body shifts from deep rest to light alertness, making it tough to drift back off. Medications common for blood pressure, heart health, or pain can also play a role. They often bring side effects like frequent urination, temperature swings, or sensitivity to noise or light, quietly messing with sleep. George didn't connect his meds to his wake-ins until he started paying attention. At 80, George, always a light sleeper, began waking nightly around 3:30 a.m. For months, he blamed aging, but a chat with his doctor revealed one of his pills. With boosting his nighttime bathroom trips, with his doctor's guidance, George tweaked his dosage timing and added small lifestyle changes. Now he wakes less often and slips back to sleep more easily. Here's the key. These wake qualms don't mean your body's failing. They're proof it's still working, reacting, signaling, adjusting. These cues can guide you to better care and smarter choices, building trust in your own instincts. That 3 a.m. nudge might feel like a bother, but it's also a gentle reminder to tune in, check on yourself, and make small tweaks for better health and deeper rest. A powerful but often overlooked reason folks like 76-year-old Ed find themselves awake at 3 a.m. lies in everyday habits that quietly reshape their internal clock. Over time, small choices, like eating dinner earlier, winding down sooner, or moving less during the day add up. For many seniors, these shifts signal the body to start the night earlier, which naturally pushes wake-up times to the pre-dawn hours. When life gets quieter, especially after retirement, the body misses cues it once relied on: commutes, errands, or mentally waiting. Without them, Edith's sleep-wake cycle drifts forward. A calm evening with dim lights and little activity can prompt her brain to release melatonin early, lulling her to sleep before 9 p.m., leaving her to sleep before mapping. There's also a subtle link between meal timing and sleep. Early dinners, while healthy, can cause a blood sugar dip overnight if Edith skips a bedtime snack. It's not hunger, but it's enough to rouse her. Similarly, that afternoon coffee lingers longer as metabolism slows with age, lightening her sleep and making her more sensitive to disruptions. Edith, at 76 and newly retired, saw these changes sneak in. Her days lost structure and evenings grew relaxed. She'd eat supper by 5 p.m., doze off watching the news, and hit the pillow before 9. Soon she was up at 3 a.m., puzzled why she was awake before dawn. Reflecting on her routine, Edith made small tweaks: a short afternoon walk, brighter lights in the evening, and skipping post-dinner nap. It's easy to miss how much routines matter. Our bodies crave daily patterns, telling the brain when to rest or rise. When those signals shift, the internal clock can lose its way, leading to earlier, choppier sleep. But by spotting these patterns and making thoughtful changes, Edith gently guided her body back to a more restful rhythm. If this hits home, drop a 4 in the comments to let me know you're here. Not subscribed? Hit that button and turn on the bell to catch every video. Your support keeps us sharing content to inform and inspire. Let's move on. Sometimes waking up at 3 a.m. has less to do with the body and more with the heart and mind. For someone like 82-year-old Lillian, the quiet of night can stir up quite a bit. In those still early hours, when the world is hushed, her thoughts might drift to old memories, unspoken regrets, or quiet longings that surface unbidden. Lillian might lie awake, not from noise or pain, but because her mind is gently sifting through the past, old friendships, choices made, losses endured, or words left unsaid. This restlessness isn't the sharp anxiety of youth. It's softer, more reflective, like a faint hum in the background, a sense that something's unsettled, even if she can't quite name it. With age, there's more room for these thoughts. Life's daily rush, work, errands, responsibilities fades, leaving space for the heart to speak louder. Loneliness can play a part too. For many seniors, social circles shrink. Kids move away, friends get busy, routines shift. This loneliness isn't always heavy. It might just be a wish for a chat when the house feels too still. Take Lillian, widowed at 82. By day, she's busy tending her roses, calling her grandkids, or watching her favorite shows. But around 3 a.m., she often wakes, her mind wandering to moments with her late husband or worries she tucks away in the daylight. At first, she thought her sleep was broken. Over time, she realized it wasn't about sleep. Her heart was asking to be heard. To ease this, Lillian started keeping a small notebook by her bed. When she wakes, she jots down a few honest thoughts. Nothing fancy. She also added a soothing evening ritual, like listening to soft jazz or writing a quick note to a friend. These small acts give her a gentle outlet, calming her mind and helping her slip back to sleep more peacefully. The truth is, the heart doesn't keep a strict schedule. It recalls what it needs to, asks its questions, and often does so at 3 a.m. when all else is quiet. That's not a flaw, it's a sign of your depth. If you wake feeling reflective, it might mean you carry wisdom ready to be embraced. You've lived through joys and sorrows, shaping not just memories but who you are. Instead of seeing these wakings as problems, approach them with curiosity and kindness. What's your heart trying to say? What needs a voice? What part of you craves a little grace in the dark? Honoring these moments, rather than pushing them away, can bring not just better sleep, but a richer understanding of yourself in this season of life. Another reason folks like 79 or Frank find themselves awake at 3 a.m. is a heightened sensitivity to sounds that might not have bothered them before. As we age, the brain's ability to filter out minor noises during sleep can weaken, making even soft sounds, like a creaking floorboard or a distant car, enough to jolt you from rest. It's tied to changes in how the aging brain processes sound, especially in the quiet, vulnerable hours of early morning when sleep is lighter. For Frank, the body's sleep stages also play a role. As we get older, we spend less time in deep sleep and more in lighter stages, where noises are more likely to rouse us. Combine that with a nervous system that's more alert to disruptions, and it's no wonder this sensitivity can carry an emotional weight too. Frank, who once slept through anything, might feel frustrated or even helpless when every little sound seems to derail his rest. He may start dreading bedtime, worried about what might wake him next, which only makes falling back asleep harder. Take Frank, for example. At 79, he's always been a sound sleeper. But lately, he's up by 3 a.m. stirred by the smallest noises, a dripping faucet or the wind outside. At first, he blamed his old house, but he learned his aging brain was simply more tuned in to these sounds. To help, Frank started using a white noise machine, keeping his bedroom quieter and closing windows at night. These small changes muffled distractions, helping him stay asleep longer. The truth is, this sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's your body staying vigilant. Those 3 a.m. wakers might feel like a nuisance, but they're a sign your system is still responsive. By understanding this, you can make simple tweaks, like earplugs or a fan, to create a calmer sleep space. If you're waking to every little sound, it's a clue to listen to your environment and adjust it with care, paving the way for deeper, more peaceful rest. For someone like 75-year-old Agnes, waking up at 3 a.m. can stem from the subtle stress of major life changes that ripple through the mind in the stillness of night. As we age, transitions like retirement, moving to a new home, or losing a loved one can stir a quiet unease that surfaces when the world is dark and distractions fade. These aren't always obvious worries. They're often a soft undercurrent of adjustment, like navigating a new routine or missing old connections that the brain processes in the early hours. Unlike the high-stress moments of younger years, this unease is gentler but persistent. Agnes might not feel overwhelmed during the day, but at 3 a.m., her mind might linger on her recent move to a smaller home or the empty chair at the dinner table. The aging brain, less occupied by daily hustle, has more space to reflect on these shifts, making nighttime a stage for quiet contemplation. It can feel isolating, especially if social circles have thinned or family is far away. Agnes, who once thrived on routine, might find these changes disrupt her sense of stability, nudging her awake as her mind sorts through what's new or lost. At 75, Agnes, recently retired and relocated, started waking at 3 a.m., her thoughts drifting to her old neighborhood or colleagues she misses. She initially thought it was just sleeplessness, but she realized these wakers tied to her life's new chapter. To ease her mind, Agnes began a nightly ritual, sipping chamomile tea and listing 3 things she's grateful for. She also joined a local book club, adding new connections to her days. These steps gave her mind a softer landing, reducing those early wakers. If you're waking at 3 a.m. with a restless mind, it might be your heart adjusting to new realities. Embrace these wakes with patience, perhaps jotting down thoughts or finding small ways to anchor your days. By honoring these transitions, you can find not just better sleep, but a deeper peace in this season of life. As we close this video, pause for a quiet moment to think about what struck you most. Was it the shift in your body's clock, sneaky health nudges, or perhaps a deeper emotional rhythm that whispers in the stillness of night? Each of these 7 reasons: melatonin's fade, an earlier sleep cycle; physical discomfort, shifting habits; restlessness, emotions; sound sensitivity, and life's transitions, offers a fresh lens to understand why you're waking at 3 a.m. None of these point to something broken. They show your body and mind are still at work, adapting and responding and hearing what your body's saying in those soft. Instead of seeing 3 a.m. wake-ups as a bother, try viewing them as messages, subtle reminders to tune into your needs, routines, and heart. You're not alone in this, and you're not the only one seeking answers. With understanding comes the power to make small, meaningful changes for better rest, deeper comfort, and a stronger connection to your own rhythm. Those 3 a.m. wake-ups are your body's way of speaking. Listen closely, adjust gently, and embrace this chance to care for yourself with wisdom and grace. If you saw yourself in these reasons, know you're not just aging, you're evolving, with a chance to rest more intentionally and greet each morning with peace. Thank you for being with us today. We'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below with one thing you learned or a moment when you woke up 3 a.m. Your experiences inspire us all, so please share. If this video helped, give it a like, subscribe, and pass it along. Your support keeps us creating content to guide and uplift you. See you in the next one.